Tori. Welcome to my channel, Tori Talks. This channel is about me becoming a licensed professional counselor. I want to talk about my highs and I want to talk about my lows, my wins and my losses. It is a long one. I started it back in 2021 and I am going to be wrapping up my last year. So I wanted to basically document this process and hopefully share the experience with new counselors in training or maybe individuals who are thinking about starting this journey on their own. This video is for you if you're thinking about going back to school and becoming a counselor. But first, I want to talk about changes. Changes are hard. Changes are difficult. I want to talk about this tweet I saw a couple of months ago. This tweet is from Anna Livia and Not a Heather, and she says, "Are you allowed to decide you don't like your career and you want a totally different one, even if you're 28, LOL?" And yes, you can. You can make any changes you want to. It could be scary, it could be difficult, but it is doable. I started grad school at 39 years old and I'm almost finished, and I'm really glad that I did it because I think I would probably be more upset that I didn't even try than if I actually failed. At least if I try and fail, like, hey, it sucks, but at least I tried. So let's talk about my counseling journey. So like I mentioned before, I started back in 2021. So I'm wrapping things up. I'm almost finished and I cannot wait to be done with school. I've been in school the majority of my adult life because I am a non-traditional student. So that means that I didn't go right after high school. My journey is like this. That's my journey, you know. But it is what it is. So my practicum. So right now I'm at the place where I am at practicum. And if you don't know what practicum is, it's in my counseling program and many other counseling programs, it's the part where you actually start seeing clients while you're still in school. It's the precursor to the internships. For my counseling program, I just needed to do one term of this. So what practicum signifies for me definitely is that I'm almost finished. I'm almost out of here. And it's exciting. It's at the point where you pretty much finally dipping your toes in the water, you know, per se, as with the counseling profession. For my particular program, they gave you recommendations, but you were on your own on finding your placement for your practicum. I was not ready for my practicum. I didn't know where to start. So they gave us 6 weeks to find placement, and I pretty much went through local agencies that I thought that had availability, but by the time I called them, they were already booked for interns. Actually, there was one particular agency that I had bookmarked for over a year, and their website was actually great. And that's something that I would say I would gripe about, is that some agencies have a nice little page for interns and they say, "Hey, are you a grad student? Click here. Let me tell you about this." But a lot of places, they don't. You just have to call them up and say, "Hey, do y'all have any availability for practicum and intern?" And you know, you discuss that with them. But this particular agency that I had bookmarked and I saved for a year had it listed, had all the information. I said, I'm definitely, when practicum comes, I'm going to apply for them. I wanted to work with this particular group. The problem was when I tried to apply for that particular group, I actually did. I submitted the application, and then it was crazy because I submitted the application and maybe like a couple of days later, I went back to their webpage and they had removed the link. So that was kind of, that was a little heartbreaking because I'm like, was it me? Are you did you not want to deal with me? So you like ghost me. But basically they were at capacity. They had met their, they couldn't accommodate any interns for the foreseeable future, they said. So that was really a big downer. I had one interview the last week of the window to secure your placement. And I think the interviewer knew it wasn't a good fit. Also, I had technical difficulties for like the first time in my life. I had the situation where I logged in on my computer and my phone at the same time. One of the worst interviews I've ever experienced in my life. I didn't get that. So what happens when you don't meet your deadline? Well, with my particular program, that meant that I had to postpone my practicum, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm in 2 different courses right now. But with this new term, I actually have to get a new 6 weeks to actually start practicum. The good news is that one of the agencies that I had contact during my first initial 6 weeks reached out to me. It was so crazy because it was like a week later, and I'm like, oh, if we would have connected just 2 weeks before, I would have been perfect. So I'll start practicum in May, so I'm really excited about that. The downside is that it delays my graduation because I was supposed to start practicum past this current term, but I can't, so I have to wait till next term, and it just push everything further away. So that kind of sucks. If you're like me and you're starting over in a new field and you are not working in the counseling field at all, like the mental health field at all, you may have a hard time finding agencies or connections with individuals in that particular field. So one way to do that is volunteering. This last term, I volunteered for a nonprofit. They offered facilitator training. So this is community facilitator training. So you don't have to be in the mental health field, but it's a great way for you to put yourself out there in the community. I was able to work aside other licensed professional counselors and grad students that were going to school to become counselors. So that was actually my first experience with being around other individuals going through the field or going through the counseling journey, because I'm doing an online course. So all my courses are online. Some of the stuff that we have is, I guess, video over like Zoom or Teams, but most of my courses have been online. So this was my first experience that I had to actually work with, professionals in the field. So that's one way, making connections through volunteering your time with agencies and organizations that offer mental health services. So to avoid my practicum placement pitfall, I would say do your research. Really wish I would have reached out to the placement sites prior to my practicum application window and learned about their intern process, if they're going to have availability, so it doesn't waste my time through that window of opportunity that gives you through your program, because it's like a time waster, because you're just hoping and praying. You're just hoping and praying that they answer your phone calls, like a date on a Saturday night. Just wishing and praying. They ain't gonna call. They ain't gonna call. Just hoping and wishing. They ain't gonna call. So I want to thank you guys for watching. To see more videos on me becoming a licensed professional counselor, please like and subscribe.